time for your encouraging verse of the day, brought to you by Truck Stuff USA and Outdoor Power Equipment. They're located right there in Baker, Louisiana. Your encouraging verse comes to us from the book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. For you, brethren, have been called to liberty. Only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. That's your encouraging verse for your day. Coming to you from Galatians chapter 5, verse 13.
Reason to believe. Evidence proving God and the Bible.
In previous centuries, it was popular to claim that the Bible was filled with mythical stories and fictitious characters. Names like Nebuchadnezzar, Pontius Pilate, Belshazzar, and Darius were figures in the Bible, but evidence could not be found that they were actual historical figures. So many scholars announced that since they could find no mention of them in history, it was evidence that the Bible was merely a book of fiction. But one by one, archaeologists did find evidence that these and others mentioned in the Bible did in fact exist. Dr. Nelson Gluck is considered by many to be the leading Palestinian archaeologist of the past century. He spent many years of his life exploring the archaeological records around Israel. He concluded that the Bible was totally reliable where he could examine the evidence. He said no archaeological discovery has ever controverted a biblical reference. He even added that studying the records in the Bible has led to amazing discoveries in archaeology. Documentation from the Signature of God by Grant R. Jeffrey.
One more reason to believe.
89.7 and 91.5 Sound Radio, home of today's Southern Gospel. This is WPAE 89.7 FM Centerville, Mississippi, and KPAE 91.5 Irwinville, Louisiana. Today's Southern Gospel and the new Journey Radio Network.
I'm gonna cross to the other side of Jordan, gonna rest in the by and by. I can't wait to see my Jesus. I'm going over where the soul never dies.
We're the station you turn to for encouraging Southern Gospel, with songs about this life and the one to come.
You're listening to Steve Woodham and Southern Gospel Sonrise.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-woo!
God's done for me. I've got to sing of how he set me free. There's not a day that I won't give him praise, 'cause he's my king, he's my everything. I've got to sing. Since the day I got saved, my life has been changed. I'm no longer bound. What a difference he made. I've got new direction and I've made up my mind. I'm not gonna stop, I'm gonna testify. I've gotta sing of what God's done for me. I've gotta sing of how he set me free. There's not a day that I won't give him praise, 'cause he's my king, he's my everything. I've gotta sing. When the journey gets rough, with doubt and defeat, I shout that's enough and I claim victory. When Satan comes prowling just to silence my voice, he won't get me down. I'm gonna make some noise. I've gotta sing of what God's done for me. I've gotta sing of how he set me free. There's not a day that I won't give him praise, 'cause he's my king, he's my everything. I've gotta sing.
Gospel Sunrise. Benita Eileen, 4 minutes after the hour. I gotta sing. It's a beautiful day for us to get up, rise up, and enjoy this beautiful day that God has given each and every one of us, because this is the day that God has made. And what does His Word say? It says, we shall rejoice. It doesn't say, get up and say, gloom, despair, and agony on me. You don't want to do that. You want to get up, celebrate, because this is a day that God has given you for you to be able to go out and share Him with everyone that you come in contact with. That is what we are supposed to do. The fields are ripe for the harvest. God is looking for harvesters. Will you wake up and embrace this Wednesday and become a harvester of souls for the Lord? Glad to have everybody along. Great Southern gospel music this hour. Plus, you just don't know what's going to happen, because at this point, I'm not really sure I know what's going to happen. The one thing I do know is we've got great Southern gospel music right here on your station, giving you the very best in today's Southern gospel. Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday, May the 26th.
You're listening to Steve Woodham and Southern Gospel Sunrise on today's Southern Gospel and the new Journey Radio Network.
The stars were made and put in line to light up the midnight sky. The sun was made and put in place to make the day so bright, because I said so. Because I said so. Emotion only comes so far until it has to stop. The mountains only rise so high until they reach the top, because I said so. Because I said so. Because I said so. Have eternal life. Because I said so. You're free and you're loved, and it's not because of anything you said or done. It's because I said so. Moses led his children to the mighty Red Sea. They crossed over on dry ground, happy and free, because I said so. Because I said so. They crucified and killed my son and laid him in a grave, but he got up on day 3 for your soul to save, because I said so. Because I said so.
in the car with the kids, running them to school and softball, soccer, and dance practice. What are you listening to on the radio? Your kids pay close attention to what you are listening to. So listen for yourself and listen for them. We're 89.7 and 91.5 Sound Radio, home of today's Southern Gospel.
Fan favorite.
Never have before. I've seen the tried and true things, made me want to serve you even more. Well, I want to let my light shine so everyone can see, be the kind of witness that you would have me be. Just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. And I've seen some victories in my time. Lord, I want to move some mountains. I know you'll take me higher if I trust you to help me climb. Lord, won't you do a new thing? Use me like you never have before. I've seen the tried and true things, made me want to serve you even more. Well, I want to let my light shine so everyone can see, be the kind of witness that you would have me be. Just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. I need a fresh anointing. Lord, make me strong and make me bold. I want to do your will, Lord, so fill me with your love and send revival to my soul. Lord, won't you do a new thing? Use me like you never have before. Well, I've seen the tried and true things, made me want to serve you even more. Well, I want to let my light shine so everyone can see, be the kind of witness that you would have me be. It's just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. Just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. Well, I want to let my light shine so everyone can see, and be the kind of witness that you would have me be. And just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. Just like you told Isaiah, Lord, say you'll do a new thing in me. Say you'll do a new thing in me. Say you'll do a new thing. Oh, say you'll do a new thing in me.
Mr. Lance Driscoll and Say You Will Do a New Thing in Me. It's 13 minutes after the hour, top of the morning, bottom of the day, depending on what side of the world you are listening to us on this morning. Glad to have you along, but right here in South Mississippi, Greater Baton Rouge, looks like it's going to be a sun-filled day with maybe a cloud or two in the mix. Our high today is going to be 88 degrees, getting to be a little bit warm as we are inching ever so close to summer. And then for tomorrow, or excuse me, then for tonight, that is, looks like we're going to have some passing clouds. At 69 degrees for a low. Then for tomorrow, our Thursday, it's going to be partly cloudy and a high of 89 right now. Currently in Baton Rouge, South Mississippi, we currently have 71 degrees. What is the weather like in your part of the world? Go ahead and chime in now on social media. Go ahead and put it in the comments section. Let us know what kind of weather you can expect today.
Why do we ask negative questions?
How much can I exaggerate my job performance before it becomes a lie?
How much can I cheat on my taxes before it's considered stealing?
Do we do this in other areas of our lives?
How much water can I put in the gas tank before my car stalls?
How much fuzzy green mold can grow on my sandwich before I shouldn't eat it?
We don't do this in other areas of life. So why do we do it with our souls? Another message from Lifeline Productions, located on the web at lifelinepro.com.
Life can get so messy that it seems impossible to clean up. We've hurt people, we've done things we're ashamed of, things we've hidden. So many mistakes, sins, and regrets. Like a homeowner feeling helpless in the midst of a disaster-ravaged house, we stand overwhelmed with guilt, shame, and a dirty, unworthy feeling inside. The promise of God from the Bible is that everyone who believes in Jesus receives forgiveness of sins through His name. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM.
We have some traffic congestion this morning at Airline Highway at South I-110. Again, Airline Highway South I-110. Looks like some congestion going on, but looking at traffic cams as I scan across the area, everything is looking good this morning. Traffic is flowing along beautifully. Looking at the I-10, 10-12 split, normally a hot place this time of morning. Traffic is looking really good there. I-10, 110 split, looking good there as well. So just make sure that you are continuing to practice your social vehicular distancing and keep it safe. And as always, keep it locked in right here. Your station giving you the very best mix in today's Southern Gospel music. Coming up in just a little bit, your question of the morning. And it's not about food.
I listen to it because it's great music, it's family, and you don't have to worry about what's coming on. It's all going to be good.
I like the mix that they have.
Well, it's me into worshiping God.
It's Steve Woodham on today's Southern Gospel and the new Journey Radio Network.
Coming on strong, singing my song, going on from the get-go. With every mile I know there's a prize. I'll be hitting my stride, rolling in grace, keeping the faith. I'm coming on strong. Apart from Him, I am nothing.
it's time for your encouraging verse of the day, brought to you by Truck Stuff USA and Outdoor Power Equipment. They're located right there in Baker, Louisiana. Your encouraging verse comes to us from the book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 13. For you, brethren, have been called to liberty. Only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another. That's your encouraging verse for your day. Coming to you from Galatians chapter 5, verse 13.
It really helps change your spirit when you're down. You listen to it and you're uplifted.
It's Steve Woodham on today's Southern Gospel and the new Journey Radio Network.
Fan favorite.
To this bad. They say I'm defenseless against the enemy. This hand-me-down armor doesn't suit me. I've got the only weapon I need. 'Cause the giant here before me doesn't see the God behind me. If he did, he'd be on his knees. I come in the name of the one who's greater. Nobody can run his name into the ground. 'Cause the rock that I've got is a mighty Savior. And before I swing that stone and sling around, I know my Goliath is coming. But I wasn't in it. The lines were drawn on a hill called Calvary. Heaven sent the Rock of Ages to fight for me. And death went down forever in defeat. There's no weapon formed against me, stronger than the God who's with me. The cornerstone is my victory. I come in the name of the one who's greater. Nobody can run his name into the ground. 'Cause the rock that I've got is a mighty Savior. And before I swing that stone and sling around, I know my Goliath is coming down. It's coming down. The doubt that shakes me, it's coming down. Bitterness and envy, they're coming down. The gates of hell will not prevail, 'cause they're coming down. I come in the name of the one who's greater. Nobody can run his name into the ground. 'Cause the rock that I've got is a mighty Savior. And before I swing that stone and sling around, I know my Goliath is coming down. Oh, you know he's coming down. Oh, he's coming down.
Southern Gospel Sunrise, Joseph Habedank. I know my Goliath is coming down at 25 minutes after the hour this morning. Good morning and welcome to this Wednesday, Hump Day, as everybody is getting ready and already looking forward to the long weekend that is coming our way, known as Memorial Day weekend. It is the unofficial beginning of summer, as many people are already making plans to get out, if the weather permits, get out to the ocean, get out to the lake, just to get out of the house and be with family. So So everyone is looking forward to the weekend, and I pray and trust that you have a great weekend that you're looking forward to. Some time that you can be spending with your family, spending with your friends, just kind of getting out and about and enjoying life. You know, talking about friends, that is going to be our question this morning as we are looking at friendship and those qualities that we think that we look for. So, are you ready for your question? Here you go. Here's your question of the morning. What makes a best friend? What qualities do you look for when you are looking for a best friend? What are those qualities? What makes a best friend? Now, surely I hope we all have one. I've got one. He's in Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Keenan Astorga. He is on from time to time, and you see him in the chat room. He and I talk a lot, and he's someone that I can trust and I can talk with and I can just kind of share my feelings with, because I know that it's something that will stay between the two of us. But what are those qualities that you look for when you are looking for a best friend or in your best friend now? What are those qualities that you think are just absolutely better or more phenomenal, or, well, better is not really the better word, not really the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. What are those qualities that they have that makes them your best friend? Chime in this morning. Let us know, and let's have a little fun with it this morning. At 26 minutes after the hour, coming up in just a moment, talking about the Goliaths in your life. We're going to learn how to look at them, but more importantly, we're going to look at how God looks at the Goliaths that you have in your life. Coming up in just a few moments.
Scan your dial, and you'll be entering the radio jungle. It can take you to places you may not want your family to go. But here, we've got a home for you that you can feel good about. A haven from the radio jungle. You're listening to Steve Woodham and Southern Gospel Sonrise.
Southern Gospel Sonrise, Gaither Vocal Band, and a classic, He Touched Me. Remember singing that song when my dad was on the evangelistic field, and my brother and I and my mom, we were traveling with him, and that was always a song that we sang as a trio. And just, those were the good old days. You know, if you could always turn back time, you know, it's one of those things of if I knew now what I knew then, or if I knew then what I know now, how much different things would be. But then again, if you live in the past, you'll always lose what's coming ahead in your future. God has plans for us. We just need to trust God and walk in His purpose. As my friend would always tell me, just walk it out. Walk it out. Just walk out your faith. You know, we all pride ourselves on the ability to judge people and situations based on appearance. There's a lot of that going on in our country right now. A lot of judgment going on based on appearance. But you know, the truth of the matter is, a lot of times, we're absolutely wrong. You see, Goliath issued the same challenge to Israel for 40 days. He said, "Send me your best fighting men and I'll kill him. I am the champion. I am the greatest." Now, that kind of fear-based thinking applies to every giant that you and I encounter in life. Chuck Swindoll writes, "Fear and worry don't come just once. They come morning and evening, day after day, relentlessly trying to intimidate. They come in the form of a person, a pressure, a worry, a fear that hammers on your heart day in and day out, yelling across the ravine in your own personal valley. Few things are more persistent, even intimidating, than our fears and our worries, especially when we face them in our own strength." You see, when picking Israel's next king, God told the prophet Samuel, "Don't look at his appearance, his physical stature, for the God of the world does not see him as a man." He doesn't see him by looking at the outward appearance. He doesn't look at him by the words he says. He doesn't look at him by the actions that he does. He goes straight to the heart of the matter, because that's what God looks at. He looks at the heart of each and every person. It's not the outside appearance that impresses God, it's only the heart. Now, us as human beings, we look at what's on the outside and we form our opinions based on what we see, and I have to be honest with you, I'm guilty. Sometimes I can look at someone and just immediately judge them by the clothes they're wearing, or their words, or their actions, or maybe their hairstyle, or something that, you know, in my opinion, that I think is, you know, something that would not be of God. But you know, God is sitting here going, that's our problem. We're looking at the outside, and God is saying, I'm looking at the heart. It's not the outside that impresses me, but it's the heart of the matter. And we are so quick to easily judge based on what we see. Goliath was a giant. He had a booming voice, and let's face it, he had a lot of bravado. And he had those 3 traits designed to instill fear into the bravest of hearts. But see, here's the important thing. Just like with Goliath, God was neither impressed nor was God intimidated by him, by his voice, by his bravado, by his stature. God was not intimidated by any of that. And what's more, he gave David the ability to see Goliath not through his natural eyes, but through his spiritual eyes. I want to give you a word of advice this morning that I think is very appropriate and something that we all need to remember. Fear is like babies. The more you nurse them, the bigger they grow. And once you start seeing the giants in your life from God's perspective, that's when they begin to lose their power to immobilize and intimidate you. So just refuse to be fearful. Quit nursing that fear. Quit giving it residence in your mind. Turn your fear to faith. Turn your worry to worship. God has everything under control. If David could conquer Goliath, even though Goliath was out there just making those big, boisterous, booming sounds saying, "Send me your best and I will kill him," and David, who is just a small child, he was so small, the Word of God says he couldn't even wear the armor of the day. But God gave him the ability to see Goliath for who he was through spiritual eyes. And that's the way we need to look at our fears. Because we know that fear does not come from God. Fear comes straight from the pits of hell. Because God's Word tells us He has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So this morning, I encourage you to pick up those three things: power, love, sound mind, and know you can overcome any Goliath that you may face today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, whatever the Goliath is. No matter how big you think that giant is in your life, you serve a God that is a giant killer, and He will be there and protect you and will give you the strength you need to conquer any giant in your life.
You're listening to Steve Woodham and Southern Gospel Sunrise on today's Southern Gospel and the new Journey Radio Network.
How alone does alone feel when the shadows fill your heart, and the sound of the silence echoes in the dark, and you cry inside from hurts that just won't heal. How alone does alone feel? How scared does scared feel when you're facing the unknown, and the dread of tomorrow is heavy as a stone, and you pray to be brave, but the fear is cold as steel. How scared does scared feel? We all bruise, we all break, we all fall beneath the weight of this life and this pain. Sometimes it's more than we can take, but in this ocean that seems hopeless, something holds you and it's strong and it's real. How good does grace feel? How alive does life feel when the sun is on your face, and you stand in the wonder of a hope that's here to stay, and it's peace you breathe, and a love that's deeper still. How alive does life feel? We all bruise, we all break, we all fall beneath the weight of this life and this pain. Sometimes it's more than we can take, but in this ocean that seems hopeless, something holds you and it's strong and it's real. How good does grace feel? We all bruise, we all break, we all fall beneath the weight of this life and this pain. Sometimes it's more than we can take, but in this ocean that seems hopeless, something holds you and it's strong and it's real.
helpless, something holds you and it's strong and it's real. How good does grace feel? How good does grace feel?
Fan favorite.
He saw the ones around him move when he sat down. As the music softly played Amazing Grace. Last night's fall off the wagon left bruises on his face. So when he felt a hand on his shoulder, he thought he'd hear, "Come back when you're sober." But a friendly voice said, "We're glad you're here. Welcome to the First Church of Mercy, where the doors of love swing open wide. No matter who you are, no matter what you've done, you can come inside. Welcome to the altar of forgiveness, where the fallen can fall and tears are wiped away. Welcome to the First Church of Mercy. Take a seat on the front row of grace. You don't have to have it all together here. There's a lot of us who've been right where you are. We all came in here hurting, broken, bruised, and scarred. But then the Father reached us with the healing hand of Jesus, and now we're all a part of His family. Welcome to the First Church of Mercy, where the doors of love